progress. I had to deal with that idea. I had to deal with the bitterness, even against my ex-husband. I had to deal with it. Because if I would have come into marriage with all those baggages, this marriage would be chaotic. Your marriage won't work. Even if you get a good person, it won't work if you still come in with your bleeding self. So take care of the wounds. Take care, start enjoying your own company. Don't don't be a person who is dependent on other people's company in order to be happy. Don't be the person who is, even if it's your personality, train yourself to enjoy your own company first. Train yourself to love you. Train yourself to love your children. Because what if you're so desperate to get married, but you get married to somebody who will not adore your children, who will love them, if you do not love them as the mom? Yeah. So train yourself to love them. Train yourself to train them, to appreciate them. When they've done something wrong, train yourself to love them. Because if you, this is how you're projecting your bitterness and your trauma against the children. You're projecting against them, and you get married with that attitude. You're projecting. The man who will come in your life will adopt your style of parenting. And now the two of you will be ganging up against the children. Do you think when those children grow up, they will ever want to talk to you? Do you think they will ever want anything to do with you? How will you help someone who tortured you? A parent who tortured you? Yeah. Start loving your children. Talk to yourself and tell yourself how much you love them. Tell yourself how much you adore them. And then when you see them, tell them that you love them. Tell them that you adore them. Tell them that they are the best thing that has ever happened to you. Tell them that you'd rather be with them than be anywhere else in the world. But when you're alone, and this goes also for widows and widowers, because if you're alone, you're alone, regardless of how it happened, whether it was through a separation, whether it was through bereavement. The reason why you're single does not really matter. The challenges are the same. Hi everybody, how are you doing? I'm glad you clicked on this video. My name is Rukenya, and I have come with a special episode for you. I want to talk to single moms. I want to talk to you because I've been there and I know what you're going through. I know it's not easy. I know sometimes you feel like you want to quit, but because you have a child or children, you're still holding on. Let's talk about the struggles, because like I have experienced what you're going through. I may not know you, but I know the dynamics because, as I've said, I've been there. So I was married for some time, and then a separation happened. And when the separation happened, I was left with children. And so I was a married woman, but single, a single married woman, because the guy wasn't there. So I was raising my children alone. Um, Long story in regards to that, but here you have children that you have to give everything to, and you have bills to pay. Among the many struggles that single moms will go through, or that I went through as a single mom, among those troubles is finances. You see, you have finances, you have bills that you have to pay, you have work, so you're trying to balance work and parenting. You probably have a nanny or somebody helping you take care of the children so that you can be able to do your job, because you have bills to pay. So there's pressure, there's work and parenting pressure. You see, when you're two, one can ask for a day off, they can go pick up the children, I mean, you have somebody who you can divide responsibilities with. But when you're alone, and this goes also for widows and widowers, because if you're alone, you're alone, regardless of how it happened, whether it was through a separation, whether it was through bereavement. You this the reason why you're single does not really matter. The challenges are the same. Whether you got pregnant out of wedlock, you're still a single parent. And this will go to men as well, not only for women, but you find myself talking mostly about mothers, single mothers, because I'm a woman, so I will speak for men. And another thing that I really struggled with, and I will go into details of all these things, was emotional toll. You know, you get to a place where you're drained emotionally, but there is nobody who you can talk to, because anytime you try to talk to someone, there is judgment. Judgment is another thing, that you're judged. The questioning, and where is the father of these children? Where is the father of this child? Why are you alone? Why can't they help? Where is their family? All these questions come in, and you find yourself not wanting to talk about it because of the judgment, because of the stigma, because of what people are saying and how people label, especially single mothers. There's there's something else that is very challenging when it comes to single parenting, which is personal growth. You find that you want to do something, you want to take on an extra course, you want to pursue, probably, whatever it is that you view as personal growth, you want to do it. But because you have a job and you do not have extra time, the extra time you have, is given entirely to the children, is given entirely to parenting. And so your personal growth is challenged. And I experienced this especially with my firstborn, because I was a teen mom. So I started experiencing single parenthood as a teenager. So you can imagine how many years of experience I have as a single mom. In my previous marriage, I was single for, we were married and then separated. And I was single more than, I was single for longer than I was married. I was single for longer than we had stayed together. Okay. My divorce came in later, like 9 years later. So you can imagine the amount of time. So I had been single with my firstborn, and then you get married, few years in marriage, then I'm single again, for long, and then now married with Brian. It looks chaotic, and I know I'm not the only one who is going through this. You're probably going through it. You know somebody who is going through it. So now, back to me. Mine started as when I was a teen mom. Yeah, I started experiencing single motherhood, single parenthood right there. And one of the biggest challenges was personal growth, because like I had to, lay aside. Most of you know me as a singer. I sing, I used to sing. Yeah, but I found out that because of these children, I cannot pursue what I want to pursue. I can't. Any extra coin that comes, and that's why I started by talking about financial limitation and financial pressure, is that anything that comes in, you want to save as much as you can, because you have bills to pay, and in case a rainy day comes, you do not have somewhere to fall back, and you do not want to be a burden to your family. You don't want to be a burden to anyone, because you're the parent to these children. And so what I experienced, especially in my first with my firstborn, was the the biggest challenge was that I put aside personal growth. However, after some time, I decided I'm really going to pursue this. And so I pursued a career. And when I pursued this career, I had to sacrifice parenting. You see, so I put my daughter in boarding school at grade 5. That's when I decided I have to pursue this. Otherwise, I don't see how I'm going to take her to high school with this kind of a life, because I would work in restaurants, and working in a restaurant as a waitress. I mean, how much do you make as a waitress? And those days in the early 2000s, things were not as they are right now. The restaurants that were there were restaurants during the day, and at night there were pubs. So, I mean, it was really, I think my salary was maybe 7,000 or something. My salary was 7,000 at that time, and I'm paying rent like 2,800. There's bus fare there. I'm paying her school fees, like 3,000 per month, because I think it was per term, 9K or something like that. So, I mean, it was very hard to balance, it was very hard to just make ends meet. And so I decided to, pursue my career, and I couldn't find anything in Nairobi. So that's how I ended up going to Masai Mara, and I left her, and I started working now fully in the hotel industry, the hospitality industry. And so by moving, at least my salary doubled, there were tips, so it was a bit easier on the finances. But you see, I have neglected my role here as a parent. And actually, at that time when I went to Mara, I had not left. I had not taken her to boarding school yet. I had left her with somebody who took advantage of her. So she was sexually molested while I was away. So because I was absent. And these are the fears as a single mom. I've met single moms in the line of ministry, and most of them, you ask them, would you want to get remarried? And they're like, no, because I don't know whether I can trust somebody with my daughter. And this is one of the risks, because I experienced it. I experienced trusting somebody and left them with my daughter, knowing that they have siblings the same age, that they could not harm her, but they took advantage of her, they took her innocence. And this is somebody who, you know, was supposed to be a believer. Anyway, so I go to Mara. I have sacrificed my parenting in pursuit of this career. I'm looking for personal growth. I'm also thinking about her future as I'm doing this, but something has to give, something has to, I mean, in order to strike that balance, something has to be sacrificed. Either I decide to parent her, continue working for these restaurants stroke pubs that turn into nightmare at night. They would turn into strip club, and you're there. It was just chaotic. And so I decide, no, I'm going to do away with this, and let me look for a more decent job in a hotel. And so I had to sacrifice that. See the consequences? Now she's suffering because of what the decision that I made. So this is one of the struggles that I see women struggling to make decisions because of. You're afraid that somebody will take advantage of your child. So I leave. And when I knew what was happening, I took her to my sister. And then shortly after, she goes to boarding school. And when we were taking her to boarding school, I had gotten a job in Dubai, and I left. And so from there, I was able to help her, and was able to pay her school fees, save some money in order to take her through schooling. So it was easy financially, but I have sacrificed parenting. And now, even when we talk, there's a gap because I left. You see, I left. I left tomorrow, and then I left for Dubai. There is a gap in my parenting. She missed a mom, that she was away. We were apart, and this this I know parents who are single are forced to do this, and I'm glad that, well, not glad that boarding schools are taken away per se, but it's a it's advantageous to the children that boarding schools are taken away, so that we find alternatives. And this is the enemy's plan. His plan is to destabilize families so that the next generation suffers. So my daughter has suffered anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts for very long because of the absence of a parent in her life. Like she literally like raised herself. But remember, I was a teen mom. I also needed some growing up to do. Even when all these decisions were being made, my brain hadn't developed properly in order for me to, think about the future in a proper way. And also the lack of mentors is something that affects how we make decisions when we encounter crises. So you've encountered a crisis in your life, and because you do not have a mentor, because you do not have somebody to guide you, someone to you can sit down and reason with, you know, then you end up making rational decisions that are costly in the end. So that is lack of support. So if you lack support, you're going to either struggle in your decision making, struggle in life as you're trying to parent these children. And in the end, because remember, you have now sacrificed your your life in a way that you cannot pursue personal development. So now, because you cannot pursue personal development because of these children, what you do is that you start hating them. You look at them as a burden. When I hear or see on TV or on social media of a mom who hit a child and a child died, I I almost can relate. Because when you're alone, when you do not have, let me tell you, we are not created, whether you're a mom or not, we are not created to be alone. We're not meant to be alone. We are social beings. We are social beings. And God, when He created Adam, Adam had everything. Adam was perfect. He was a sinless man. He was perfect, sinless. He had everything he needed at the garden. Everything had been provided. He had animals. Like he was rich in everything that he would need. But when God looked at him, He saw that it was not good for him to be alone. So it is not good for man to be alone, regardless of what you have. Even if you're how wealthy, it is not good for a man to be alone. There is something that lacks when you do not have a person in your life. And when God saw that it's not good for a man to be alone, He did not create another man. He did not create another man. Yeah. He formed a woman because He knew that this woman, when this woman comes, he is going to be a helpmate to this person. And they're going to be able to even accomplish the mandate that I gave to the man. But so this is to say, this woman has come as a helpmate for this man, that let us be fruitful and multiply, and I'm going to help you with the assignment. I'm going to help you with the mandate. I'm going to help you with what God has told you to do. We will do it together as partners, but I've come as a helpmate. So when this helpmate now does not have somebody who is a pillar, someone who is guiding, someone who is directing, they are taking on the position of leader. It is not their position. It is a woman is not supposed to be alone leading an entire family. It is burdensome. We are not wired for that job. We are wired as helpmates. We are wired as the support system. We are wired for, submission. But when you do not have somebody um, to work with, to partner with, and you have to be the one, you have to be masculine for your children, you have to be the one who is calling the shots, and you are the man and the helpmate all together in one. It's draining. And that is where now you start getting depression. That is where you start hating the children. That is where you start beating them up. You look at a child, they do one small thing, you hit them. You hit them or shout at them. These are some of the things, because now you do not have an outlet. Yeah, you've been given a task to carry that is not your own. It is not, you don't have the muscles. You do not have the muscles for this. Okay, so you struggle. I was sitting with a lady whose husband killed himself because of the pressure of life, financial pressure. And she was left with three children. And she, because of life and the circumstances in life, that even if she gets a job, she can't go away. She can't work late because she's the only parent. You see, she's all alone. Family does not understand why this had to be. So there's a loss here, and you have children that you have to manage, you have to pay school fees for them. But you're choosy when it comes to jobs because you're still a parent. Yeah, you're still a parent. So you have to be choosy when it comes to jobs. And what had happened was she started venting, not venting, she started projecting all this pain. She started projecting everything she was feeling towards the last born. Like when the last born does something, the thing that she would just hit her badly or quarrel her badly. Yeah. According to her, according to her, this child is wrong. Yeah. But when I asked her concerning the things that this child would do to warrant the beating, when I helped her to think and rethink the thing that the child had done, she saw that she was actually wrong in hitting the child. So what she was doing is that she was projecting the pain, projecting the frustrations on this child. And this is trauma. So most single parents, especially moms that you're seeing out there, are actually traumatized. They're traumatized and they are projecting their pain on the children. Projecting on the children because, one, I am alone. I didn't choose this. Two, I cannot even develop myself because of you. Now I'm feeling like you're a burden. Yes, you're my child and I love you, but all the consequences. Yeah. And when you think about it, one of the things that also really affected me was the fact that even if you try to commit yourself to one thing and you start succeeding, this happened to me. So I committed myself. I've told you, went to Dubai and all and came back and, got another job and I was growing in my career, but in my parenting, there was deficiency. There was a problem there. So, but people now from outside looking in, people from outside would look at me and think that somebody is paying my bills. I have a man, I have a sugar daddy, I have, how is she able to take her daughter through school, that school? How is she able to pay that? How is she able to do the things that she's doing? She's probably, having somebody on the side who is doing this for her, but I did not. So there is judgment and labeling that also goes on. What happens is when a single mom decides that I'm going to pursue this, she's going to pursue it. And what you see is that you will see single, successful women out there, very successful. They're single, they had to sacrifice something. Not all of them have sugar daddies or whatever they're called nowadays. Yeah, not all of them will have that. Some will just give their everything to their job or their career or to their business because of the children. But I want to bring in this thought. Regardless of what is happening, regardless of the social isolation, regardless of the fatigue, regardless of what you're going through, this loneliness, you're lonely because you're alone. This aloneness is creating loneliness. It is creating trauma. It is bringing about hatred towards the children. you can actually get help. So when you ask this single mom, like for me, when you would ask me, I would tell you, I just need support. I need help. I don't want to be alone. But I was hurting. All these things were still going on in my mind. Even when I'm successful, like I am okay financially, I still had bitterness. I was still angry. I was still being isolated, like by married people. I would have married people who are friends, but they would be like, you know, there is that social isolation. Like I don't even have time to even have friends because of the kind of situation, because of my life, because of my children. Regardless of how much you want to move on and you need help, you you're saying to yourself that, and even in your prayers, you're telling God, I want to I want to get married. I need a companion. I don't want this. I don't want to be alone. Actually, maybe you're not a single mom. Maybe you're not a single parent. Maybe you're just alone and the clock is ticking. You feel like you're running out of time. You're almost 40, you're in your 30s, and you're not married, you're not in a relationship, and you're feeling like, God, why me? And you're probably feeling angry, probably feeling like, God does not love you. There's isolation because your friends are married. There's isolation because your friends have moved on. You've gone to enough weddings, you've attended enough baby showers, and yours, your story is still, you know, not heard. Nobody knows what goes on with you. Probably they're thinking you're choosy, but no one is asking you out. I want to tell you the thing that worked for me. The thing that worked for me was dealing with me first. Like I sat down and I started dealing with my bitterness. I sat down and started dealing with my shame because this was bringing shame. Yeah, it was bringing shame. I would never talk about my situation, my life, why I was single, why there was no man in my life. I wouldn't talk about it, but it carried with it shame. But I had to deal with it. I had to sit down and tell God, help me. I had to start dealing with this projection against the children. Because I would feel like, they are a bother. They are it's like they're in my life, but I can't progress because of them. It's like they're a burden. I need to do something, but I can't because of these children. I had to deal with that. I had to deal with that idea that my children are a burden, that they are an obstacle for my progress. I had to deal with that idea. I had to deal with the bitterness, even against my ex-husband. I had to deal with it. Because if I would have come into marriage with all those baggages, this marriage would be chaotic. Your marriage won't work. Even if you get a good person, it won't work if you still come in with your bleeding self. So take care of the wounds. Take care, start enjoying your own company. Don't don't be a person who is dependent on other people's company in order to be happy. Don't be the person who is, even if it's your personality, train yourself to enjoy your own company first. Train yourself to love you. Train yourself to love your children. Because what if you're so desperate to get married, but you get married to somebody who will not adore your children, who will love them, if you do not love them as the mom? Yeah. So train yourself to love them. Train yourself to train them, to appreciate them. When they've done something wrong, train yourself to love them. Because this is how you're projecting your bitterness and your trauma against the children. You're projecting against them, and you get married with that attitude. You're projecting. The man who will come in your life will adopt your style of parenting. And now the two of you will be ganging up against the children. Do you think when those children grow up, they will ever want to talk to you? Do you think they will ever want anything to do with you? We hear parents out here, when they get in their old age, they start complaining that their children don't talk to them, their children don't help them. How will you help someone who tortured you? A parent who tortured you? Yeah. So relax on the punishment. Start loving your children. Talk to yourself and tell yourself how much you love them. Tell yourself how much you adore them. And then when you see them, tell them that you love them. Tell them that you adore them. Tell them that they are the best thing that has ever happened to you. Tell them that you'd rather be with them than be anywhere else in the world. Tell them how they are a delight in your life. Tell them how they are a blessing to you. Tell them, regardless of what you're feeling, regardless whether you're feeling that they are an obstacle, regardless of the reality. They might be an obstacle because you're rejecting some jobs, because probably you get a job that requires you to travel. You can't take it regardless of how good it is, because you're a single parent. Yeah, regardless of the reality on the ground, you need to train yourself and walk through healing. Heal fast before you get into another marriage. Heal fast before you get into another relationship. That is what I did. I started working on myself, looking for scriptures that build my person, my personality, and heal my heart wounds. So if you're out there single and your desire is to actually have well, you're a man, your desire is to have a helpmate. You're a woman, your desire is to have a companion. Work on yourself first, because let me tell you what will happen when you get married. You're not getting married to an angel. You're getting married to a human being. Yeah, somebody who will potentially hurt you, somebody who will potentially not put you first sometimes. So imagine if you are already traumatized, you're already feeling whatever it is that you're feeling, and somebody comes in your life and hurts you. Tell me how chaotic that house will be. So you need, first of all, to work on yourself, work on your traumas, work on it, work on yourself. And myself, as a trauma healer, I walked through trauma healing, yeah, and I was able to heal. I didn't even know it's trauma healing I was doing, yeah. But when it came to now the training that we went through, the trauma healing training and all the counseling sessions, I realized that I've actually been going through this process, and I even went through it again and again to just, make sure I don't have this in me anymore. So that regardless of whatever comes my way, I am actually a healed person. I am a healed person. And when I got into marriage, a healed person, regardless of hiccups and things that might come in the relationship, I am strong. I am healed enough to not retain anything that I know is going to taint my spirit. Yeah. But if you're not healed, everything will be chaotic. So I'm saying you need to heal. You need to work on your issues, your personal issues, and stop involving your children. They did not ask to be born. They didn't write you a letter with your man or whoever you had them with. They didn't ask you to bring them to this earth. So stop projecting your pain. Stop projecting what happened between you and that man onto the children. Stop blaming the children because now you cannot develop yourself in your career because of them. You are the one who gave birth to them. Go back to the one who gave these children to you. Go back to God. I would go to God many times, especially when I would feel annoyed, when I would feel like I don't want them. There's a time I was like, me, I don't want them. I don't want them. I want to be alone. I would feel like that. It gets there as a single mom because you don't have somebody to talk to, no one to understand you, no one to help you even discipline them, no one to help you do anything. You're alone. And so I had to go back to God. I would tell Jesus, Jesus, teach me, teach me. I don't know how to love my children. Personally, I didn't grow up with my parents. So I don't know how to love because I was never loved. Yeah, I didn't experience father mother love. I didn't experience it. I didn't experience the love of my mom as a young person, as a child. I didn't experience it. I grew up, was brought up with by my grandmother. My grandfather had passed away, so it was just me, my sister, and my grandma. So I didn't have that. I didn't know it. So I would tell God, I don't have anything to give. I don't have. I never got it. I don't have it. So you teach me. Teach me. So I would ask God to teach me. Yeah. And it was not easy. It was not. Because I would even avoid my children because I'm feeling like I don't have love to give you guys. I don't. Sometimes I would go and lock myself in my room and cry because I've come home. They come running to me, they hug me and all that. I've brought them whatever I brought them, but they're loving on me, but I've no love to give. I'm just pretending. I'm dead inside. I would go into my room and cry and tell God, I don't want to feel like this. What do I don't have love to give. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't. And so I had to work on it with the Lord and He helped me. And it's not that I had decided not to love my children. I started conforming, because of the circumstances. I started changing and I didn't even know how to, when everything was shattered, I didn't have anywhere to hold. I didn't have even memories that I could borrow from. Like you would say, I had someone on the show, and I would ask her how she makes decisions when she's parenting her daughter, and she was saying sometimes she remembers her mom's voice. Sometimes she will remember what her mom would tell her, and she would apply it. I don't have that voice. I don't have my dad's voice in my head. I don't have my mom's voice. I only have Jesus' voice. I would ask him, help me, tell me what to do. What do I do here? And so the Lord took me through the healing process. And I remember praying and telling God, the day that, when I would tell God, I don't want to be alone, regardless of whether it's because of the children or whatever. I don't want. I don't want to die alone. I don't want to be an old woman who is alone in her house. No, I don't want that. I want to be an old woman with her husband. We walk together to the market, slowly with our cane like that. Yes, that is what I want. I didn't want to be that old woman who has cats in her house and she's alone. No, I didn't want that. I wanted a companion. I wanted to be with somebody. And I would say what I'm saying to you, this is what I would say to God. Like I would make my desire known to him. I would tell him this is what I want. And so I would tell him, I remember one prayer I made, I told God, make me. Make me. I know I'm not perfect, but I was not looking for perfection. I was looking for what the man who God would bring my way would want in a wife. Yeah. Like the quality of person he would want. I would pray and ask God, make me that person. Make me that person and heal all my wounds. Heal me from childhood traumas. Heal me from my past relationship because we were just abandoned. So heal me from the feeling of rejection and the abandonment. Heal me. And when I healed, that's when I filed for divorce. I filed for divorce and I knew I have moved on because I was waiting for something that would never come. Yeah, it was never gonna come because if somebody has moved on, there's no way you're holding on to a paper, a marriage certificate just because your name is written there together with somebody else's name. It doesn't hold water. Somebody has moved on, there's nothing you can do. So I also needed to move on. And so moving on is the last stage of grieving. Even losing a relationship is loss. And you need to go through the 5 stages of grieving. And so when I realized, like, I have finally healed, I have come to the stage of acceptance. I have accepted, and now I am moving on. I have accepted there is nothing to go back to in the past. This is my reality. This is my life now. I am now ready to move on. I am ready because I am a healed person. And so I am speaking to you because I know in the church there are many women who are single, and some are mothers, some are bereaved, some are aging, if I may use that word, but they are single. I have gone through much, and as a trained trauma healer, as a trained chaplain, uh, I am available to walk with you. I am available to journey with you because I have been through this. I've been through much. I remember there's a time I gave Jesus notice. I told Jesus, if you do not come to my rescue, I will find my way to you and I'll never come back to earth. Like, I was just giving Jesus notice, telling him, I'm going to find a way of coming to you. So you better just come to my rescue. Because of all this, you feel like the world is crumbling. It's like you've been locked in a room, a dark room that has no lights, has no fresh air. It's like you're jailed in your own head. Yeah. It's like you're captive, you're a prisoner, and you can't think straight. Everything is just dark. Everything is just suffocating you. Yes, felt like that. And so I told Jesus, you either come to my rescue or I'm making my way to you. And I was ready. I was ready to make my way to him. And I gave him notice, but he helped me. And so I have gone through much that I can't even say here. But when I meet people face to face, I do share. I let people ask me questions. And so this is to tell you that you're out there, you're alone, bereaved, single mom, whatever your situation, your clock is ticking, and you're feeling like there is no hope. As a chaplain, trauma healer, as a pastor, I want to offer myself to walk the journey with you. And I want you to reach out to me. I'm going to give you my phone number. I'm going to give you my social media handles. They're running down at the screen. Contact me, call me, text me. Let's walk this journey together. The journey of healing, the journey to healing. You don't want to get into a relationship when you're still bleeding. You don't want to get into a relationship when you are still hurting. No, it's not worth it. It's going to die. You will not enjoy marriage. You won't enjoy. But if you get into it healed, you get into it with joy, you're contented with yourself as a person, you are a whole person, you're someone who is confident with yourself, confident with your situation, proud to be a mom, yeah, that you have come this far, yeah, proud to be a dad, that you have come this far. Yeah, even my husband, the wife passed away, and he had to take on responsibility of taking care of his son by himself. He went through a lot of issues, yeah, that we can help you walk the journey, because we have been there. Somebody said that you cannot take people to where you have never been. I have been there. As a couple, we have been there, and we speak in we speak in what do you call it, family engagements, couples meetings. I meet people individually to just help them walk the journey. So reach out to me, and I'll be able to walk the journey with you, and I know that God will help you. Yeah. Somebody once said that when we pray, God answers our prayers in many ways. He answers them through other people. So maybe I am the answer to your prayers, that I am here to walk the journey with you, that you will not feel like you are alone, or your case is isolated. No, your case is not isolated. There are many people who are going through what you're going through, but you're very brave that you're still alive and kicking. You're very brave that you still have your child, your children, you still have your sanity. You have not, done something that you would regret. Yeah, you're doing well. So I commend you even for taking on responsibility. I commend you for not giving up. I know of people who just left, just took off and have never come back, but you're still here. You're still here, and there is hope for you. There is hope. It might look like it's dark, it might look like, you're suffocating. Take a minute. I want you to call me so that we can breathe together, so that I can tell you this is how you breathe. This is where you get fresh air. This is what you do, and we walk the journey together. And I know that God is going to bless you. The future is bright. It is bright. Don't mind so much about your age. Don't mind so much about how many children you have. We had a lady on the show who came and shared with us. She had 5 children and she still found love. So don't worry much about how many children you have. Let's appreciate what God has given us. And I know that your story will be a ministry. Yeah, what you have gone through, what I went through, I didn't know that one day I'll be helping people because of my experience. But it's not because of me, it's really because of Jesus. It's because he was there to hold my hand. He's the one actually who held my hand. Yeah, he's the one who was with me, never left me, never forsook me. That every prayer I prayed, Jesus answered. Every time I called, he answered and actually came to my rescue. And so I am here as your rescue. I am here as one who wants to walk with you, walk this journey with you. And I know that you will have a mighty testimony. You will be sitting here one day encouraging other people because of what God has done for you. So my number is 0729559947. So you can text on this number or email me on my socials. I have them down at the bottom of the screen. So let's catch up, let's connect, let's heal together, let's walk together. God bless you. My name is Annie Rukenya. If you have not subscribed, remember to like, share, subscribe, share this video with everyone you know who needs it. Yeah, and I know that God is going to bless you. So thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see you again on the next one. Bye.